Hello, and welcome to my first Stationeers video series, the Vulcan Gas Depot. The plan for this series is to build a ship refueling and resupply base on Vulcan, which produces and sells a lot of fuel. We will be playing on Vulcan at the Vesta Valley landing location. We are choosing Stationeer difficulty for extra challenge in food and oxygen requirements, however we will be doing the standard start instead of the brutal one. The reason for this is that the brutal start takes a long time just to get basic survivability, whereas on standard we can get a livable base in a relatively short time, and then more quickly turn our focus to the intended theme of this playthrough, which is the actual refueling facility itself. Okay, let's get started. I'll switch a few things around here. I'll open up my tool belt and my mining belt. I like to keep the mining belt over here. And we'll get a few things arranged. Atmos analyzer will keep on us. We're going to put the tracker in. I'm not going to be going far from the base. We'll just keep the tracker in the base for now. And to start off, as long as we still have daylight, I'm just going to start by doing a quick bit of mining. I want iron, gold, and copper. Looks like we got a good drop of iron and copper right here. So we're going to be building a pretty substantial base. I'm going to really rush the early game here. I'm more interested in the kind of mid to late game stages of the development, building the sort of mega base. So that's why we're playing on the standard start rather than the brutal start. It just makes the building the livable, survivable base a lot quicker and just a lot less messing around at the beginning. If you guys are interested, I might do eventually a brutal run, but I think the more interesting stuff is the larger scale engineering towards the end of the run, so for now at least I'm going to play standard start. And that's going to be enough for now. Okay, so that's our basic mining done. We're going to start building. We're going to want the construction supplies initially. That's going to be the only one we'll unbolt. Since we have such a large quantity of supplies on the standard start, we're going to go for a 7x5. So I'll frame that up. Okay, we're also going to need the better battery for the welder. And let's grab the solar panels, the APCs, the battery charger, and we'll worry about the extra cables later on. Okay, next we're going to want a place for the wind turbines to sit, so we're going to use a section of wall right here, and we'll double weld those as well. Okay, and we're going to put in a floor. We only need part of this to be frames around the outside, because certain machines have to sit on frames, but the stuff that doesn't need to go on frames, we're just going to have some, save some resources and use some of these wall panels. And we're only going to do part of the roof at the moment. Oops, I want to redo that though. I want this on the outside. There we go. Okay. Wind turbines. And solar panels. And we'll wire those up. Okay, that's those all wired up. And so we better get glass in those panels. Okay. All right, and we'll put the battery charger on the unbuffered side. Let's take our welding battery, get that in there, and recharge that. Start recharging that, rather. And let's wire in our main backbone. So the printers are going to be along this wall where I'm facing here, so we're going to run a line down along to run those, and then this will head out to a few other things as well. It's going to be enough for now. Let's start putting down a few things. Auto lathe is going to go... that there, leave a little bit of room. We've got lots of room in the base here. And then the smelting furnace, we're going to put right there. Okay. Okay, we can start hauling some of these things in now. Put that over there. And I'd like to start putting up some of these walls. So I don't particularly like, I know this is silly, but I really hate the look of the Type 1 walls. I like the Type 4s much better, and I'm going to try and remember to put these in. It's silly, but yeah, it's style points. Okay, and we're just going to hold that for now. Turn off our light if, well, better keep that on. So I'm going to unhook all of these except for the landing, or the trading pad, trading supplies. We're going to leave on here because we don't need to bring that into the base. Water we will definitely want inside. Okay, so the water tank is going to sit over here. So this room in the corner here, this 2x3 over here is going to be our initial greenhouse. We're going to build a bigger greenhouse later on. The airlock stuff we'll put over here. Electrical we can kind of just put wherever. We'll just put it in the middle of the floor for now. Survival, we'll just stick back here where it's out of the way as best we can. What's this one? Atmospherics. Put over in this corner where our pipe bender will go. And then we've got a few more tanks. So we're going to want one oxygen tank in the hydroponics room. That's going to be our initial breathing space where we can eat and drink. The other one we will keep outside in the main room for recharging our tanks. And lastly, we have a tank of liquid nitrogen. And this we will put into the greenhouse. That will be our initial cooling until we get air conditioners and stuff set up. Okay, so let's just push this out of the way a little bit. And let's finish walling this in. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's actually go 4 on this time. I've built this design a few times. This is not the first run I've done here. I've done quite a few that have been lost for bad audio quality or were just mistakes I've made. So I'm trying to learn from my mistakes and refine this build a little bit. Oh, actually, too, I did want to put some windows in here. These are interior to the base, so they won't actually get any sunlight. So there should be pretty minimal heating consequences if we put in windows in there. Get some more iron or more copper going. And let's set up our... How's our waste tank? Yeah, our waste tank's getting fairly full. We're going to need this and this. So our airlock's going to go there. So this is going to be a little canister emptier. So we'll put one there, and one right here. So I want to be able to empty my waste canisters from either inside or outside the base. And we are going to put that like that. And we'll just put that on there for now. So waste tank caution just in time. We'll empty that into there. And you notice it doesn't completely empty the waste tank, but it gets most of it emptied out, enough that it continues functioning quite well. So we'll put up our pipe bender now. Okay, so that is what's centered on the edge of the frame. Okay, so... I think that's enough for a space for the printer. That was tricky to space these out. I have an order I like these in. Okay, now that both of those are set, let's just install them real quickly. Where'd that electrical crate go? Here it is. Let's steal our other large battery. I'll have to pause for a second. I'm going to take my cat out to the other room. You're gaming. Come on, buddy. Okay. So those are both welded. Oops. Cable coils. plastic sheets, and a screwdriver. Alright, so that is that. Start making the gold. That might catch fire because this is daytime.
Hydration critical.
Okay, we want a furnace kit. No fire yet. That seems to be alright. Okay, we're getting really low on iron sheets. I guess let's keep making walls here. So we want a window next to the airlock, so if we're going outside, we can see if the outside is safe, if there's a storm or something going on, or if it's day or night. Just kind of general situational awareness. The rest of it, we're just going to seal up. Yeah, there's some fire coming off the arc furnace, but I don't think it's going to damage anything too substantially. We'll just let it go. Okay, furnace is nearly complete. Let's switch batteries. And there's the gold. That'll let us make an electronics printer. Let's get some more stuff smelting.
Air tank low.
Okay, let's get our electronics printer printing. And let's keep hooking up. I have to be careful. I can't join cables to that network while the electronics printer is running. So I'm going to leave a gap there that lets me wire up. This will be a future airlock. We won't build it for a while, but we want to wire it in the meantime. We're going to need power run around this way for the furnace outside. Eventually there's going to be a volume pump here, so we'll pre-wire that. And we're going to run a cable outside to supply the vents for the furnace. That's that, and then eventually there's going to be an airlock here, so I will run power into it right there. Okay, let's look for active vents. Need one there. There. Let's top off our oxygen tank as long as we're here.
Air tank critical.
And then let's drain our waste tank as well.
Tank critical.
Okay. Where is the atmospherics? Are there no passive vents in here? No passive vents in here. They are in airlock supplies. There they are. Passive vent and a passive vent. Okay, we are now starting to lose health because our water has run out. We're doing all right. We're going to need to drink pretty quickly. And this is going to kill the printer, but that's fine because I've got enough walls at this point anyway. No, it didn't kill the printer. Okay, start making iron sheets. 12 grams. Let's just make as many as you can. 12 ought to be about the right amount. I think I made too many walls. Let's get some more copper made. Oops, that's a type 1. There we are. Type 4 walls. Okay, and put that one in. So that's the frame out for that airlock. Let's go grab our iron sheets. And let's turn you off to save power. How are you looking? 82%. Okay, that's off. Let's make another stack of iron. And let's set up that electronics printer. Cool, I spaced it out correctly. Where'd my cables end up? Please tell me I didn't use all my cables. Oh, two. I think I'm too short. Let's just steal a couple here. Oh, this is silly. There we go. Oh, and I need to make one here anyway. So this thing actually can make cable coils. It's a little bit slow. It takes the same resources. It can also make lights, but the lights take silicon if you make them in this printer. Which is kind of funny. It's a different recipe. Okay, so that's just ready for the screwdriver. And then wire it up. Okay, and then 16 grams of copper. That is perfect. I want as many cables as you can make. That's going to be 32 of those.
Health low.
Health low. Okay, so now we need to start really thinking about drinking and eating. Let's get manual hatches there and there. weld these up. These need glass. Okay, so this is now a sealed room. There we are. And sealed room, it's got power to the vents. Do they work? They do. So that should be all we need to eat and drink. Let's close this door. Start vacuuming the room out. This appears to be holding. As long as we're waiting on this, we're going to start arranging in here a little bit. We'll stick that back there. We'll stick this in here.
Hunger caution.
And before I drain the pressure on this, let's grab a snort of oxygen.
Air tank critical.
Okay, it's 134C in here. It's basically empty. I am going to try and get that completely empty. Okay, let's put this on the portables connector. We'll wrench it down. There we go. Okay, so now we can turn this off, and let's let some oxygen into this room. There we are. Bring this up to about 30 pascals, 40 pascals, kilopascals. Let's give just a little bit more. And that's low, but it's enough to be breathable. We'll unlock our helmet. We're not dying. There we are. Okay, actually while we're doing this, let's take the suit off. Our hygiene is not great, but no warning yet. So let's put those there. Actually, let's just drop these back in the corner. And I apologize for the lack of light. There's the hydroponics. Okay, so we want it centered on there. Is that going to be... That's got to go back one. Yeah, there we go. So it covers that one, and one more row. Okay. So this is looking good. Let's just check those have water in them. They do. Okay. Let's put our suit back on and get back to work. Close our helmet. Pump this down to vacuum and continue working. Lovely few cables there. guess let's do a battery swap. 100%. Beautiful. Let's get an extra canister. And let's get some utilities. Oh, I forgot to insulate. That's a mistake. Right away we have to do that. This is already heated up quite a bit. It's not the end of the world, but that does cost us some energy later on. So all of these need to be insulated so that when we put our waste tanks in here, they don't continue to heat up. And utilities. You know what, that's going to make 9 of those utilities, and I'm just going to let it run. I think we can just do that. It's a little bit of a waste of iron at this point, but we have lots of iron around. And let's do a quick mining run. Okay, I'm going to build a little bit of a porch area here. And yes, I know I did make kind of an excessive number of these, but it was faster than just waiting around. And we're going to use dozens and dozens of these things over the course of this run anyway, so it's not really a waste. We're going to put an extra one there, put an extra one there. And before we forget about it, we're going to re-insulate those.
Waste tank caution.
Waste tank caution, yep, I'm working on the waste tank emptier. There we are, those are insulated. And let's empty that waste tank.
Waste tank critical.
There we are. Okay, I would like a volume pump. Do we have gold anywhere? And let's grab some iron. And make us a single volume pump. I'm going to need iron sheets. Let's do a short stack there. Okay, there's that volume pump. Let's go install that. And let's pump that across. Why does that not have power? There we are. So now what this is going to do, it's going to pump these tanks down over to this side. This can take quite a bit of pressure, so we'll be able to empty our waste tanks in there for a very long time. And the large volume on this side will cause it to very quickly drain our waste tank when it equalizes. And then whenever we feel like we can periodically just pump this over to the other side. So yeah, it's kind of it's a simple system, but it works. You can access it both from the inside and from out here. So if you're outside, your waste tank gets critical, do that, there you go, ready to roll again. So I kind of like that system. Let's go get this furnace set up, and then we're getting close to the end of the episode. Put a sheet in there before we forget. In fact, let's put glass in there. It's a really easy thing to forget to put glass in a window, and then you're trying to pump out your base and it just won't go. Furnace. Also, just a note to the Stationeers developers, can we please get a default orientation for the furnace that is not just bizarre? I don't know why anyone would want to mount it on its side like that. It's just spawns in the weirdest possible orientation. It's a wonderful game overall, but that really does drive me insane. Oh, where'd my wrench end up? There we are. Okay, let's get that. We'll weld that. That's a functional furnace, but now it needs volume pumps and pipes. Okay. Or not volume pumps, we need active vents. So one active vent. I guess let's put one up here. And we'll put the other one in place there. And we'll wire that in. And now we just need a passive vent, which we don't have. We're going to need one there, so just a second one should be enough. Okay, food and water are looking good. And this one we want to install the variant with the valve on it. So we can open and close that. It's nighttime. Oh, there's lead right there. Perfect. We can get our solder right off the bat. Let's just get a stack of this. Beautiful. So we're going to make our first alloy in the furnace. Let's get about a megapascal in there. And that should do it. Let's throw in... Oh, did I? I mounted this the different way than I normally do, but that's fine. We can work with that. That's lead. And iron makes solder. It's way too warm, so let's let that heat out. Pump in some cold gas, and it's below 550. Once we get over a megapascal, we will have solder. And there is solder. Okay, solder is actually one of the more annoying ones to make because of the cold temperature. Okay, we've got a furnace set up. Let's get some iron in here. Let's get some more sheets. How much iron have we got left? A bunch in there. Okay, finish walling this off. Aside from doors, that's a sealed-in base. Stop that. Let's just run out and weld this up real quick. Finish welding this side platform here. We're going to need at least 4 more sheets to do that. Save a little bit of power there. How much have we got left? 12 grams. Just make that into sheets. Go ahead and make all the rest of those, and we'll weld up the rest of these frames, and then I think we'll call that the episode. I want to try and keep these a little shorter. We'll finish up the rest of the basic livable base in the next episode, but I think I'm going to take a break for here, and I will see you in the next time. So this is my first video on this channel. I know it's customary to say please like and subscribe, and it's customary to ignore that. However, since this is my first video and I'm trying to build a bit of a following here, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, really do please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. It means a lot to a starting out channel. If I had 10,000 subscribers, then asking you to subscribe wouldn't mean a whole lot, but right now I have 0, so definitely give that some thought, and only do it if you really like it, but definitely do consider it. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.